Happy Monday and happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome back to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSports. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molliner. And I guess we were kind of lazy, Andy. You and Drew got on the ball. You did some nice Halloween costumes, which I enjoyed what people guessing it was. Although I have to ask, what do you do with that wig for the rest of the year? You don't wear that around the house from time to time, do you?
I give it to the kids. Maybe the wife and I do some sort of role playing where she goes to the bar first,
Ooh.
and then I pick her up as a stranger. I've heard of people doing that. I don't. That seems like a lot of effort when I can just kind of ask her nicely to come home with me because she lives with me. But I don't know.
Saving
And I will
gas.
I will say it was a struggle. If anyone didn't hear, to find a wig that I wanted. I wanted to be Ben Stiller. That's not a wig that people want, apparently. I had to buy a Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite costume. So I have the shirt. I
Is
have a
that what it
medallion. Yeah, I have
was?
a medallion. I have a fake. I'm gonna give the fake mustache to my kid. He'll think that's hilarious. But no, not only that, but yeah, we have a. And here's the thing: if you tune into the deep dive halftime shows, and you can do that again tonight, there is the Battle of Ohio, maybe a Civil War of Ohio. We will have new costumes. So that's another reason why I didn't wear anything today. I couldn't have 3 costumes. Like 2 is plenty, but yeah, I spent too much at the goddamn Spirit store, and
Gotta
honestly,
support localish business.
that red Adidas like track jacket, that's
That's
just a nice
legit.
jacket. Like if a lot of people buy Halloween costumes, like, oh yeah, I can never wear that again. That's a really good jacket. I'm gonna wear that all the time.
Was that
So
part of the Halloween store too, or did you just like order a track
no,
jacket
I get
online?
that from Shields. Like that just
There you go.
I just went to the sporting goods store
Yeah,
online
that's
and
legit.
said ship that. Like, um, yeah, no, it's a super nice jacket. So we'll have a fun Halloween costume tonight at halftime. We'll talk about the football game a little later. I've got a small bet on this one. Alex got some first touchdowns. But we also got golf, tennis, basketball, and we don't have it on the rundown, but there is a World Series game tonight. Is that correct, or am I speaking out of turn?
There is World Series baseball tonight. Again, if anybody has any Phillies tickets they don't want, let me know. Still trying to get my mom to a game. I think what we're going to do, Andy, is go to the bar next to the stadium and see if maybe we can scoot somebody like trying to get anything for tickets after the first inning starts or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say scalpers. I had a bad experience with that, and we were. I think we'd been drinking already. Also, like
No.
I was self-employed. It was the Twins game where they played in game 163 versus the White Sox. They lost this game, spoiler alert. But I was talking to my coworker, co-owner, and I said, "Hey, Chicago's only like 5 hours from here by car. It's like, do you want to go to the Twins game tonight?" I'm like, we'll just go there and find tickets when we get there. And buying paper tickets from a dude under an underpass wasn't the best idea. We got a ticket,
No.
but we got 3 copies of the same ticket, bought another buddy with. So yeah, we one guy got in, and then our tickets didn't scan because it was a copy. So the one guy just went and sat by himself in hostile territory, wearing all Twins gear. And the south side of Chicago, like the area around the stadium, not the greatest. So me and my other buddy ended up walking to the closest bar, and that was scary too because there weren't a lot of Twins fans in there, and we had our gear on. Almost happy the White Sox won that one, but yeah, be careful with scalpers. And do you have any takes? I think Philly takes 2 out of 3 in Philly, and we have a really fun competitive game 6, and who knows which way that's going.
A little worried that Altuve woke up. He has had a brutal postseason, and it seemed like whatever was wrong with him towards the end of game one, he sort of figured out. And game two, he was hitting the ball, and he really opens up that whole offense. He was a nice, easy out for the Phillies in that first game, kind of at the top of the order. And if he's going to be hitting the ball, it's going to be tough. I mean, the Phillies looks like we're going to start Noah Syndergaard tonight. Sometimes that goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But the Phillies have just absolutely crushed the ball at home. So again, same thing I've been saying. If the Phillies can score 5-6 runs, they're going to win. They're going to win these games, and I think they do have to win at least 2 out of 3 at home. If they get back to Houston down at all or without a lead, it's probably over at that point.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe they won't let him bring his buzzer to Phillies Park or whatever. I'm sure it was just cheating. Like that's how they broke out a game. Oh, we lost game 1. Well, we better cheat again.
You
And
saw
not that
what's
I'm
his
a
face and all that stuff. He was wiping his hands off.
not that I'm a oh yeah.
Very
Okay, yeah,
suspect.
we're gonna do a bunch of baseball day
A
because
lot of
here's
chicanery.
the thing, like
Hopefully
somebody
Cal's not
posted a
watching.
picture. Yeah, somebody posted the picture or video of the pitcher wiping his right hand, and people are like, "Oh, what's this?" And all the Houston people come to his, "Oh, he's a lefty, dumb fucks." Like, "Hey, he's a lefty. That was his right hand." But you don't have the shit all over your pitching hand. You have it on your other hand so you can put it on your fingers, your pitching hand. Like, you keep it in your glove hand. Obviously, that's how you cheat. And for the record, I love cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Just don't get caught. Like it's a black eye on everybody, guys. So
I don't understand why they got in trouble for signaling pitches. All I would do was signal pitches. I don't know, like it's the same thing as anyone that grew up playing video games with 4 people on the same screen. There's nothing more annoying than screen watching. But you know what you can't do? Stop somebody from screen watching. So it's just not against the rules. Like if you're standing on second and you can signal pitches, well, maybe the pitcher and the catcher need to come up with some different signals. Maybe try to change stuff a little bit. God forbid baseball be more interesting.
So no picks, though. Just yelling.
No
just us yelling.
Just yelling.
First take Andy and Alex
Ooh,
this
Astros.
morning. No bets on golf yet either, although I could be talking some Maverick McNeely at this price. He's a guy I bet once in a while. A lot better field than we saw last week. And oh man, heartbreak for me down in Bermuda. I had 100-1 shot with Ben Griffin. I had the first, second, and third round leaders on my card of 4 bets. I didn't have the 4th round leader. That's the one that counts the most. But Ben Griffin, 100-1, 2-shot lead on the back 9. Bogey, 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 double bogey. Ended up losing by 2. I had 2 of my 4 outrights were in the top 3 or 4. But what are you going to do? It's golf. It's tough. I was happy to just have a chip, chair, and a chance. And I had a good NFL Sunday. That kind of makes up for a lot of that. But yeah, Scotty Scheffler, your 2021/22 Player of the Year is here. Viktor Hovland is here. He will be going for his 3rd straight win. He's a back-to-back winner here down at Mayakoba. Tony Finau off a kind of a bit of a re-breakout season where he played pretty well, won a couple tournaments. Morikawa's been a while since we've seen him. Billy Horschel is alive and golfing. Aaron Wise eventually going to win one. Sucks his prices suck now. And then you can see some of the other names here. There's actually kind of a steep drop off after like the first 10, 15 guys, but Emiliano Grillo, somebody I back traditionally. I don't know who I'm going to here. It is another tropical one. You'll see the word mangroves quite a bit. I'm not 100% sure what mangrove wetlands are. I think it's some sort of tropical swamp. But this is a goofy course where it goes along the sea, it goes into the jungle, it goes into this mangrove stuff. So like it is a change of pace course where it's not 18 holes of the same thing. Kind of like what we saw last week, with some of it being on the ocean, some of it being more parkland. Par 71, Paspalum greens, not something we see a ton. Designed by the ever vilified and hated Greg Norman. Greg Norman course. Ooh, that's scary. Boogeyman shit. Halloween. Maybe I should go as Greg Norman for Halloween. That would freak some people out. So let's actually get some bets.
A lot of Saudi oil money.
Where in the world are the ladies of the WTA this Midland? Is this
one of the more boring locations in terms of WTA?
Just Texas?
Oh, we're in the middle of Texas, Andy. The WTA finals are in Fort Worth. The Challenger event this week is in Midland. So, yes, no coastal cities, no European places in mountains, no interesting places in Asia or Australia. Texas.
I only know this because of I never watched the show. I've never watched the television show Friday Night Lights. I've only seen the movie. I like the movie a lot, but yeah, Midland Lee. Which it's funny that Robert E. Lee has come up twice already. Thank you, Dan. But Midland Lee.
Oh, that is probably the Lee.
And I brought up Boobie Miles yesterday when Cooper Kupp got hurt, because what is he doing in the game at that point? Much less getting the ball down by 3 scores with like a minute left. So either way, I'm sure we'll have some. What will you bet? It's Texas, red-blooded American women. We're gonna bet on some American women here.
No, not really.
I know.
It is one of the funny things that, as much as you say, it's good I'm trying to scroll through here. Who do we have here from American women here? Well, I guess I'm sorry, An Lee. An Lee is from the United States.
Lee's
Apologies
American.
to
Yeah.
her, and I had skipped over that one, but you got An Lee there. Peyton Stearns, I believe she's a United Statesian. We got Madison Brangle, the Madison Brangle, Andy, Katie McNally, and yeah, it's a diverse tournament. Again, it's lower level. We're at the end of the year. We do have the WTA finals. Haven't had too much chance to go into that. It's a round robin tournament. It's very strange, and
Yeah.
you always see some funky stuff. So if I have anything for that, check the link in my profile. I'll put anything in there, but I'll probably stay away from the WTA finals here a little bit. But two picks for me in Midland. Both will be today. The first one here starts at 1 in the afternoon. An Lee goes up against Varvara Gracheva. Gracheva is someone that I bet against quite a bit in hardcourt season. I struggle to figure out why the market is making some of the numbers they do for her. You look at the money line here. Thought about just playing that, honestly. An Lee is minus 150. I had that closer to minus 175, almost minus 180. Gracheva here plus 110. I just really boggles my mind, but happy just to lay the games here. There's -2 out there, standard juice, -2.5 at standard juice, but some books will let you sell out here. Again, it's a challenger event, so might be a little tougher to find this. See if you can find it to 3 games. 3 games should be plus money right now. I think if you look around again, you'll find at least 2.5 standard juice. That's fine. -2 standard juice is great. Thinks that she takes care of business here against Gracheva. I thought maybe about playing her a little bit 2-0 as well, but just give me the -3 games. If she wins in 2, we'll cover that no problem. And then Shuai Zhang, someone again beats the pants off of everyone that she should beat and generally loses to some of the better players in tennis. She goes up against Nao Habino, not one of the better players in tennis, kind of an older tour veteran that is slowly getting pushed out by some of these younger, more talented, more physically gifted women that are playing tennis these days. And not that Zhang is one of the younger players, but should beat up on Habino here, has beaten her 2-0 all 3 times they played in her career. And again, if Zhang is here, she's playing to win this event. Should be good conditions for her. So give me Lee -3 games, Zhang -5 games. If you want to parlay the money lines, that's like plus 115. That's fine too. But I'm just going to play the spreads here. So both this afternoon in Midland, Texas.
Yeah. World Series is not in Texas, but the WTA sure is. And for your sake, I hope it never gets back to Texas. It'd be funny. I think it'd be funny just because Philly, I love, especially in a game, a series, a sport where I don't have any futures. I don't have any skin in the game. I like to see a team just come out of nowhere and do shit like this. Like, as much as I shit on Eli Manning because he's a turd burglar, like I loved those teams. It's like, this is fun. Like, this is why sports are fun. I love, everyone loves a Cinderella in March Madness. Why not in every other sport? So I love the Phillies. I'm pro Philly right now.
It's somebody sent the tweet. I think it was Cal that actually shared it in our FSM chat. The Phillies are like a guy who shows up to a party already really drunk and completely changes the trajectory of the evening. That is what the Phillies are doing. Phillies fans didn't expect the Phillies to be here. Nobody expected the Phillies to be here, but suck it, Mets fans.
Yeah, Jesus, that took a turn. And sports are fun. And there's a fun one tonight. Of all the
This could be good.
primetime games we've had of late, this one actually might be good. The Browns, it was
They
always
like throwing
going
the
to be
ball.
this. This was kind of the trajectory we expected. When Drew and I previewed it, said, like, they have to win all their coin flip games. They have to get it done in all the right spots. They have to stay healthy, and they have to pray that Brissett is good. Otherwise, once Deshaun Watson comes back, they're going to be out of the race. They're going to be, they're going to be so far back out of the playoff picture that it's not going to matter once he gets back, and it's maybe not even a good time to play him much. Like, why would you play him in a bunch of dead games where he might just get hurt? So the Browns are currently in the 13th spot out of 16 teams in
That's
the
not
AFC.
good.
Some injuries, 4 straight losses. That's been rough. The Bengals also, if the playoffs were to start today, would not be in the playoffs. If they did win, they would be either the 5 or 6 seed. I'm not 100% sure. I think they would knock the Chargers out. So the Bengals need this win. They are a small favorite. The numbers come against them a little with the Jamar Chase injury news. Obviously, maybe driving a little bit of Cleveland money. I can understand that, but Cleveland's offense has been so dreadful. And you know what? Cleveland still has to take care of T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I'm not 100% sure who the third wide receiver really is going to be out of all the other guys. And then even like Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is a good possession tight end. He's going to get like 8-10 targets today just because there's a need for someone to step up. And Joe Mixon hasn't had a 100-yard game yet this season. And really, there hasn't been a ton of games where he's run a lot outside of it looks like Miami and Pittsburgh. He got a lot of totes for some reason. He doesn't get the volume maybe, but man, if there was ever a spot for him to break out, it's against this defense. This is a run defense that could probably be gashed. I didn't take a position here, especially when missing out on the Cincy -3. It's since come back to a cheap 3.5. I'm going to take a small position on just to tickle. It says right there on the screen, Bengals team total over. Not 100%, just because I want to bet on this team without Jamar Chase, but also like when we went over this on the deep dive on Wednesday. And I really, really wanted to play the Arizona team total over, which cashed, and I did play it as the secret team total play. The chat really kept trying to push the Bengals on me, and they're not. I don't think they're wrong. It was a strong second choice. So because Arizona already won and the secret team total's over, play is in the books, I'll play another one. So small bet on the over 24.5. Shop around. I've seen this as bad as -125 at some places. I found a +105. I believe it was Bet Online or Low Vig had the best price on this currently. So looking for this offense still to compete on the road here. And hopefully the weather's nice. I think it's supposed to be a pretty nice night in the Mistake on the Lake. And speaking of Hayden Hurst, I saw his name as I was just peeking. As far as guys who might get extra targets tonight, he's somebody you're looking at to maybe get an extra target while they're closer to the goal line, perhaps?
I hope so. We got a tight end last night. Not a tight end I picked. It's always annoying when a player like Dawson Knox scores. His number was garbage. Kudos to anybody that had the guts to grab him. Again, it was only 12, maybe 13, 14 to 1. Not getting a lot of targets, but a tight end I do love at 14 to 1. The aforementioned Hayden Hurst. Just a security blanket here for the Cincinnati Bengals team. He is second on the team in terms of red zone targets, pushing to get up higher on the list of targets. And by the way, not Michael Thomas, but Mike Thomas will be the third wide receiver tonight. Those are generally good games for Hurst. They move him in. They use him a lot as kind of the third passing option. I think it'll be a great night for him. Use him in DFS for sure. So give me Hurst 14 to 1. Cheap Kareem Hunt price. I guess this is just being driven by the fact that the Bengals are a pretty big favorite here tonight. If you go back and look for the Cleveland Browns, their first touchdown scorer pretty much every game is Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb. That's really what they want to do. They want to run the ball. They love getting it to those two guys. It's the way that their team is built. And I'm happy to take a great number on Kareem Hunt here. He is usually 8, 9, 10 to 1. Occasionally see him as high as 11 or 12, but 14 to 1 at a couple places tonight. Again, just I think a little bit of an overreaction to the Browns being an underdog and the way those numbers sort of trickle down and drive the odds on some of these things. Harrison Bryant, no David Njoku. We know that Brissett and the Browns love to throw to the tight end when they get closed down. Bryant, I believe, already has a first touchdown scored already this year. If not, he's got at least a touchdown or two. Again, has been someone who's stepped right into that role and always been a good receiver there. For some reason, can't seem to get a starting job in the NFL, but when he does come in as a backup, is generally pretty good. So happy to take him at 19 to 1. Samaje Perine. Tough Browns defense to score upon. Hayden Hurst is going to get a lot of targets. I was a little hesitant at first looking for him until I got to see that number at 14. The Browns are pretty good against receivers and tight ends, but receiving backs coming out of the field, they give a lot of passing touchdowns to running backs this year. Perine has been used in that and is someone that, as Joe Mixon fantasy owners know, gets a lot more work than you wish once you get inside that 20-yard line. So like Perine tonight, 25 to 1. I think both of the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow hasn't run one in this year. I don't believe Brissett has either, but both of them, very mobile quarterbacks, happy to roll out if they have a chance in the bootleg to try to get one in there. So like both quarterbacks tonight. So give me a quarterback, 2 running backs, and 2 tight ends. Hopefully it's not a receiver.
Yeah, I know. Nothing would feel better than to see a receiver fall down at the 2 and realize, like, hey,
Tyler
we might
Boyd,
get
65 yards, steps out at the last second.
Yeah, oh man, really close. It probably would have
Hand
scored
off
there,
to
but
Kareem Hunt.
his momentum on that long pass carried him out at the 2, and that'll be first and goal for your Cincinnati Bengals. and then boom, tight end. So,
Love
NBA season's over. It's over till June once the playoff starts. My Timberwolves are bad. They haven't quite figured out anything. Finch is garbage. Gobert didn't fix anything. Cat doesn't get the ball in the right spots. He's a baby. Anthony Edwards, too fat, eating too much chicken or whatever it was. What food? What Popeyes? It was Popeyes. That's what Cat called him out
Love
for.
that
Either
chicken.
way, you can still bet the NBA. I'm done with it. Although I do like this. I do like the Sacramento look tonight. I was reading the NBA chat a little, and I'm kind of sold on the Kangs.
It's never great when you feel really good about the Sacramento Kings, but that's what we're doing tonight. I will say quickly before we jump in, the NBA season, this is the earliest the NBA season has ever started, Andy. Usually it starts closer to Halloween. As we start to look at the standings here, teams already have 5. Some teams have 6, 7 games under their belt. And I wonder if we're having what we've seen in the NFL the last couple of years, we have a delayed preseason kind of feel. Weeks 1, weeks 2 for some of those NFL teams are really rough as they try to just kind of smooth their players into it. And we've seen teams take certain strategies. The Warriors are only playing their starters 30 minutes for the first couple of weeks here to kind of smooth into the season. And I think that's what led us to certain things like the 5-1 Portland Trailblazers, the 5-2 Utah Jazz. You look in the Eastern Conference, the Wizards are 3-3 and would be a 7 seed if the playoffs started tomorrow. But it's early and there's still some good looks to be had. One is a really nice spot here for the Sacramento Kings. The Hornets in a really tough schedule spot. I believe it's a 3-4 back-to-back for them tonight. Again, the Kings, not a team that's historically great on the road, but this has been a really solid roster. They continue to be competitive in games. They are, just 1-4 so far on the season, but the Hornets are without Rozier. They're without LaMelo Ball. This is a team that is going to be tired, that is going to have a really thin roster tonight, and the Kings should really be able to take advantage of that. I had this closer to Kings -4 myself, so happy to take the Kings at -2. This is on the move a little bit. I am going to draw the line at 2. If maybe you have a 2.5 at less than standard juice, you're going to play 3 at like plus money if that's a thing anywhere. But going to draw the line here too. Again, I said I make this game 4, so don't want to play it really any 2 less than that. I'm seeing 2.5 right now, so maybe we'll get back to 2 here for a little bit. And then a Pacers team total over. The Brooklyn Nets. Not really sure what's going to happen with them. They've got a 5-7 back-to-back situation tomorrow. There could be some rest. Kyrie Irving got a little upset that Kanye West was trying to out-crazy him this weekend and kind of make his own run at trying to get some headlines here. We haven't heard anything about him being suspended, and not that he should or would, but there is a greater than chance Kyrie Irving just doesn't play tonight because that's how he's feeling. And it's just a lot of things up in the air. Really want to just bet the full game over here, but give me the Pacers team total over. They beat this Brooklyn Nets team 2 days ago, put up 125 points. A lot of their strengths are at the guard positions where the Nets are weak defensively. They don't really have any rim protection here tonight. Benedict Mathurin, hopefully you got some rookie of the year for him before the season. I was stupid and did not. He is putting up a ton of points and running up to the head of that race. Halliburton looks fantastic. It's just been a really fun Pacers team for as long as they have these guys here. So give me the Pacers team total over 114.5. And there was only one, maybe 2 books that offered this, but some places have alt team totals, Andy. And if you can find a Pacers alt team total of 119.5, it's plus 190 at points bet right now. I think that's a really great number. Again, 125 just 2 days ago against the same team now. Shot 50% from 3, 45% from 2. Those numbers should depress a little bit, but I think they're going to put up a huge number against a Brooklyn team that has struggled to do anything and now continues to have more adversity. So Kangs -2. Let's do it. Sacramento on the road. How can that go wrong? The Pacers team total over. Kind of a Nets total, Andy, which I haven't lost one of those in a while. Should be a fun night.
Yeah, the Nets totals. That was the bane of your existence last year. Nothing like going to get hurt again. So
I'm ready.
Go Phillies. Go Cincinnati offense. Go On Lee. Go Hayden Hurst. I'll take an easy one. I'm not even going to be greedy.
Right.
Just give me the 14-1 and go Benedict Mathurin. Does he play for the Pacers?
It is Benedict Mathurin. Well
look
done.
At me.
Bro.
Look at me naming an NBA player. Look at me feel so. Hey, have a safe and happy Halloween. And if you like tricks and or treats, hit the thumbs up on the way out. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel for this, NFL, golf, other NBA content. We'll have all kinds of stuff. Subscribe, rate, review, thumbs up, share, retweet, like, heart, and check you tomorrow.